We are live.
Live in the jungle, baby.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, and my phone's still ringing, buddy.
Is
I'll
it?
get back with him. Yeah, I got one to just.
I just got 4 this morning myself. We got 2 people rolling in. Happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. Happy Monday. Happy the rest. Let the people pour in. It's me and James. I think Frank will be rolling in. We never know who's showing up around here. You know what I mean? People. What's up, guys? Your live just popped up on my feed. Wow, Facebook is slow. We've only been on for like 2 minutes and it takes like a minute to get rolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What's going on, James?
buddy, just sitting in this hot, humid weather.
Hot. You got air
Hot,
conditioning, don't you?
humid. No, I got my exhaust fan over here. We're good.
Yeah. Shoot, we
We
haven't
still
had
about 10
power.
o'clock.
So many people. I think there's like 10,000 people with no power right now.
Well, I better enjoy my fan then, huh?
Yeah. Dude, the air bubble next to my office, I've been here forever. I've never seen it deflated in my life. It's like level. The
Wow.
tennis courts are all underneath it. It's crazy. The storms are freaking nuts, man. It's like Independence Day, 4th of July, and the world's coming crashing down all at once. Heat, flooding, freaking
Yeah,
fires. It's
I've been
crazy
seeing it.
how things change.
It's crazy.
So
We still.
if you guys had something unique you did this weekend that's running through the video, man, type it down in the chat. What did you guys do over the 4th? Are you still on the 4th? You know, holidays are crazy too. Sometimes the way the holidays lay out, like during the week, on the weekend, it really changes the way you run your trucking company over the holidays. You know what I mean?
Well, right
Especially
in the middle of the
like
week.
think about all the automotive people that do. Don't they do their inventory around the 4th for two
Yeah,
weeks?
all the RV manufacturers shut down for 3 weeks.
Do they? What about the rush of the produce season that always shuts down in Georgia and Florida and all that for right after the 4th of July, that first big rush that goes boom. What's going to happen when that happens next week?
Yeah. Wait till next week.
Yeah, next Monday, whenever everybody comes out in Georgia, looks like worse than what it was now, right?
Right.
California's slowed up because the produce is shifting. Everybody's moving from finishing watermelons to pumpkins, and we're moving into the next cycles of freight chasing.
But let's hope
Oh, the
they're.
last 3 months in the Midwest, everybody's been getting in the Northeast. Everybody's been getting their ass kicked on rates because the California and the produce trucks rolling in, right?
Yep.
What happens when that
Well,
first shift changes next week? I'm asking you. You're the truck driver. What happens to people that are one truck authorities and the same in the cars? What happens when you go from the snowbird and the snowbird section of the cars drops out and you have to come back to the freight chases style because you don't have a contract? Is it the same as real freight?
no.
It's not the same.
Well,
You don't have to chase down little pieces of car when it's scarce.
yeah, you got to chase it down.
Well, what's the
That's what
difference
I'm
of
saying.
freight?
I mean, if you got direct shippers, I mean,
But we're not
you got
talking
freight.
about direct shippers at the moment. We're talking about all the numbnuts that don't have direct shippers. Stay with the program.
But
Any more coffee this morning? Wake up, James.
I told you I only had one cup. I was on my second. I ain't even had my third yet.
Oh. So what happens? There's really no difference for one type of the road. The oil industry's dropping in Texas again. The fucking cars, the snowbird season's in a ship. Produce is getting ready to drop. Volumes are still low. The elections are coming up. People are putting safety scores behind them and putting it because that costs money now to fix. We don't have
Right.
money to fix. We just want to drive and make money, right? We
Yep.
don't want a network and we're not going ahead because the load boards suck. And if we go too far out, we don't want to promise something we can't do right now because we're in a bind.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Yeah. Big
Guys,
bond.
well,
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
if you ain't got the direct shippers and you're running off that damn board, I mean, you ain't gonna find
Well,
a
let's
good
keep
freight.
going on. Let's keep going on that topic, right? So, this morning we just want to wish everybody a super happy 4th of July. And if you guys this morning are having any problems with one of your businesses, it could be insurance, finding equipment, you need help with dispatching, you guys are trying to get your brokerage up and running, and you don't know what you're doing. Your trucking company's in trouble. Your trucks are sitting because drivers don't want to work for you, and you don't know how to put on owner operators. You know, just about anything in the business. Contract work is where it's at now. Find long term freight. Contract work is where it's at now. Need to get long term freight. Oh wait, we have long term freight, don't we, James and Shay? We do. We're getting into that. We're going to get into that. And so you think about where my stuff went.
Huh?
I'm trying to find my stuff. I just moved it. Okay, yeah. So you think about well, we're here, right? So over the last 13 years, my company has went from, well, not the last, well, let's say we went from trucking, we've done dispatching, we've helped build brokerages. I even got a testimonial this morning, or actually this weekend, where Tavion, which is stationed overseas, he took my training and he sent me a message this weekend how excited he is. While he's still deployed, he's overseas, he built up his brokerage and booked his first truck on a load. He's like, woo! Yeah, that's a huge pivot point, James.
Hmm.
Booking your first load at a broker, getting over that step, getting it delivered, and going through that process, right? So,
Yeah.
guys, I wanted to wish everybody happy 4th of July. If you guys are watching the video, you're new to the show, tag it, share it, give us a call, right? We're always here to help. So, today I wanted to talk about what we're doing as Shaggy's group of companies to help you guys stay in business right now. Number one, we've set over the last September will be a year, right? So, over the last year, we've put a team together, and this team is really awesome. It's ran by Shaggy, and then it's got Kathy and Isaiah. Isaiah is running the brokerage. Kathy's running the compliance and safety and helping with everything. Kathy's got a team with Allie and some others that are going to be helping with compliance and safety. And Isaiah has got Dan, William, and Justin, and James, and Shaggy, and Steven, and Don. But on his main team is Isaiah, Dan, and Tyson. And watching these guys move through the process now of finding the trucks, calling them, setting up the relationships, getting these factory companies approved, moving freight, like moving volume, like not just
Yeah.
one load here and there, moving volume, right, James, with our brokerage
Yeah.
is insane to see it all working, to see the freight coming in where we're not just running up load boards, and see how you can take carriers and put them on your freight and put it on autopilot. Isn't that crazy?
And ready for the next contract.
Yeah, you get that groove going, right? And the
Yeah.
next contract's coming, and we're working every day on doing live sales calls to find more freight. There's six of us calling every day to be able to get more customers, right? And it's weird because everybody's looking for their own type of customers, right? There's certain niches, but we're looking for the contract volume stuff, right?
Yeah.
So now with the brokerage going, we're able to show stuff in house when people are opening a brokerage. Can we show them how to do invoices?
Yeah.
Can we show them
Right
how to
on.
load up tenders?
Mm-hmm.
Can we show them all the process?
Yeah.
Do we do real life sales calls,
Yeah.
emails,
Emails,
follow up
class, follow up
all day long,
all day long.
live for real in person,
How about weekends? We do
virtually?
that too.
We're doing it virtually in person, right? As a company and in a training. It's helping us go to a whole new level, right? With the brokerage.
Yeah.
So we don't have to outsource anything. We everything we do for training, moving the trucks. Dude, when we're moving our trucks, what's our number one goal with our brokerage? Do we want to use the same truck twice more? Or do we want to
Yeah.
keep finding new ones?
No, we want to keep the ones we got going.
We do, right? So we,
Right.
we get them,
Long
we
term.
put them on the freight, then we go after more freight that keeps them moving, right?
Exactly.
But why do we do that for them? When are they not doing it themselves?
No.
Why? They don't network, so why not do it for them, right? Stop preaching about you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. Just come to us and let us do it for you.
Exactly.
And right?
I mean, if they get that go to, I mean, they'll go out there and try to do it. If not,
Well,
we
but
keep
why
doing it
don't they?
for them.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. Like I've said before, it could take you 300 to 500 phone calls before you even get in the door of one.
But is once you're in the door though, is it really the problem of getting the customers? Because once you see the customers and you got the confidence in calling, is it the customers and finding a load to move, or is it actually understanding the liability, the claims, the risk, the fraud, the double brokering, and getting the right carriers to move the freight?
Well, that's another leg work there.
It's the hardest. Which one's harder? Getting the customers and making the calls once you do it, and finding the right one. That's kind of just like a luck, right?
Yeah, it is.
Once you get those loads, if you don't get the right rates and maintain profits, do you win?
Well, that depends.
Do you get if you don't get recurring volume with a customer and you're just doing one and done, so you accomplish
No, no, you ain't won there.
you haven't
That
won at
ain't won.
all, have you? So
No,
just getting a customer doesn't mean you've won anything, does it?
no.
It's about
You
getting
got
the
to have
customer,
volume.
getting the carriers, and getting volume and letting that clock rotate, right?
Exactly. That's how the megas do it. Look at them.
But you
We'll
got
come
to
in
be a
here.
little mega to get there, don't you?
Exactly.
I mean, you're in the same plan concept. Just because you're smaller doesn't mean it's going to change, does it?
No.
Good morning, guys. What's up, Warren? Nice to see you, brother. Hope you're out of the hospital. Guys, if you're tuning into the show, we're talking about our four companies at Shaggy's Consulting and Training Group. Over the last year and the last 7 years, we've been doing excelling in training, teaching carriers, helping them get started, and help them grow. In this last year, we've stopped concentrating on the training, and we've started building a product. We started with a bunch with a vision, and now we're down to a few, a team, a solid team. And now we're moving our team over the hump as we're helping carriers. We're moving freight, we're dispatching trucks, we're doing insurance, we're doing equipment financing. We have the brokerage going, and our compliance and safety company is onboarding trucks. We're adding 15, 7, 10, 15 a week that are coming in doing our programs. And today, while we're going through it, we're discussing some of the programs that we're offering people and why it helps you, the carrier, or you, the broker, that's really having trouble. Because you can always teach the masses, but sometimes you have to provide for them too, right, James?
Yep. That's what networking is about.
Yep. So in the brokerage, we're doing all that. So like we have people in there, like when we're booking loads on our freight, our own freight, we're actually providing backhauls. We're not even charging them for it. And some of the guys we're dispatching for, some we're not. Right? Right?
Hmm.
Are you awake yet? Do I need to like
No.
stick a coffee IV in your neck to get you motivated? It's funny because you're so new to
Might
the
help.
group. It's so new to the group. When I start talking, you get caught up with me talking. So it's like you're watching me, still learning. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I haven't got up with everything yet. I'm learning stuff too every day as we work, right, James?
I am.
I know. 2 weeks ago, I
Hey,
was
I
driving
came
a
as a
fucking
truck
dump
driver.
truck. Huh? Said
Bag
two
up,
weeks.
beep, beep,
Look,
beep, beep.
oh, I said
Are you good?
2 weeks ago you were driving a dump truck. 3 weeks ago now you're dispatching trucks, building networks, calling customers. You landed two customers. What the fuck, Chuck?
Hey, when you got it, you got it.
Does it really take a lot of expertise to land customers, or just being calm and willing to listen?
Just make that phone call.
You know, the other part of it too
Yeah,
is when you're making those calls, how many times do you listen? If you listen, do you see things that you could have did different when you missed it?
a lot of times.
A lot where you're like, oh man,
But
did he
but,
come back?
but I mean, it ain't like you. I mean, you'll tell me to call back. You don't call back. I mean, you just admitted you're stupid.
Why can't you call back? I do it all the time. What am I, just crazy or what?
Do I need to answer that honestly?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're crazy.
Am I? Do I call back?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I was just making sure I didn't want you to lie to people. So if we miss something, we call back. I mean, even if you're not at the right person, why not call back? He just answered. You talked to him. It was just a few seconds ago. What are you, human?
right.
Say, hey, I forgot. Or, and ask. All I do is say no or sorry.
Heard that all my life.
Gotcha. So our brokerage is up and running, and we're doing really, really good. We're making a lot of calls. We're seeing a lot of asset opportunities that people are leaving on the table, right? Trucking companies,
Yep.
lots of openings that they're just not calling to get, right? So then, because of our brokerage and because of these phone calls we're doing and the communication that we're seeing, that sucks, right? Because like when you go to the load board, if you look at 50 people, only five are actually posting in the right direction where you need them. The other 45 want to go anywhere, so they don't fit your cause, right?
Right.
So then we go to e-carrier check, right? And when we call carriers on there, believe it or not, the ones that answer the phones are
Yeah.
actually the one we're working with them, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's crazy. The ones that are not using dispatching, or some of them that are, that answer the phones when we call from e-carrier check, they're actually pulling freight for our brokerage and want a network. The other 75% answer the phone are the same guys that are crying on Facebook and YouTube.
Right.
They have no plan, no clue, no product, and they run everywhere. You can see it on their maps, right? On eCare Check, they run all over the place. And then when you
Or,
call them, their education level looks like they run over the place. Fucking safety score shot. They're freight chasing all over the place.
well, yeah, you ask most of them, and they're running off the damn load board. So what's that tell you? Oh,
Right.
Frank. Damn, now I'm awake.
What's up, Frank?
What up?
How was your weekend?
I'm
What
still
was it?
having it.
There you are. Me
Oh
too. I
yeah.
just, it's weird because I'm usually not in today, like working, but today I got so many calls already on my phone lined up for people ready for consulting. It's like, it's weird. It's like everybody's on this. Like I was thinking it was slowing down a little bit, but it's like everybody's on that spring break. Freaking kids are out of school. Got to get the vacations in. September's coming quick in all the businesses. So today we were kind of starting out, instead of always telling people how fucking dumb they are and what they're doing wrong and what they're doing all the time. I'm really over a lot of that. And today we're starting off the conversation because it's the 4th of July and thanking all the people that we've worked with in the past. I got lots of reviews. And I'm just, now that I finally listened to Frank and stopped training the competition and built the businesses for myself. I just wanted to kind of go over where we're going in direction to actually help people, just like Frank. Frank's the biggest part of like financing trucks. I mean, at one time, whenever it was, I don't know, are you still financing trucks and
Yeah.
building trucks?
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest part of our group, right?
Yeah. I I mean we buy and sell trucks. We've been I mean there's a lot of them out there right now. All those guys that year and a half, 2 years ago went out and overpaid for a truck and a trailer and just got them a dad account and thought they were in business, they're going under. They're going under. So there's a lot available, and then my guys that
They're
you
not
know my
really going under though, Frank, because the last 8
yeah, a
authorities.
lot of them are going under. A
No,
lot
they're going back to owner operators.
going back to owner operators.
But they are
We've
going
had,
under.
you and I have had 2 or 3 good friends that have been in the group a long time that quit, that just
Yeah,
quit.
people are some are quitting like your guys, but a lot of your guys that I see like Joe Farland,
Yeah,
Russ and Frederick Ashley, Russell. I mean, we can name them off right now in our group that they're picking up owner operators that are closing their authority. Like almost everybody I interview started their authority the last 2 years and now they're driving for somebody else.
yeah, yeah. I
Latest
mean,
on.
a lot of that going on. A lot of just a big change. But it happens all. It happens in this business. It goes through different cycles.
Well, we were talking about with our brokerage, right? So with our brokerage, it's funny, right? We go on the load boards and we look at guys that are posted trucks to build lanes with our brokerage because we're moving these volume of loads now, right? And so we're trying to line up these carrier relationships, and literally, if we call e-carrier check and get a person on the phone, there's there's a good chance if they approve our credit or we get it approved, they're pulling for us. It's amazing. But if we go to the load boards and deal with everybody on there that's posted, their rates and their methods are so far out of whack. And there might be, and you can look too, right? When you go to the load boards, you can find out you know who you're talking to because you look at where it'll show you where they're empty, where they want to go, right? And then it'll show you where they're located. The carriers, say Georgia, South Carolina, North, and you look at all these guys in Illinois. Like there'll be like 80 of them in Illinois on a post, but they have all these names. But when you call them, there's some dispatching service. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So like, if you don't know how to, so basically what I'm getting at is we brought the dispatching back, and that was a topic we were going to do on a show of its own because everybody always says, "Why do you go back and forth with dispatching with Frank?" Well, I still hate it. Like I still hate it, right? Like I still think everybody should do it themselves. But the problem is when me, James, and Justin and everybody sit in there, we're talking to everybody. No one wants to do the work, though, Frank. They all want it right now.
yeah.
They don't
I
want
saw a
tomorrow.
post. I saw a post Friday on Facebook, and it's a guy that went through your all of your courses, and he called me. I don't know, 5 or 6 times. Just wanting to talk about this, talk about that. And here was his post. These shyster brokers are running me broke. He hadn't changed the damn thing. He hadn't changed, didn't learn anything. Hadn't changed the thing. And I saw the responses on there, and I put one on there, but mine was real short. But I saw these things about people complaining about brokers and how bad brokers are and all that. It's the same bunch. They're not going to be here. You're not going to make it. The brokers aren't going to pay you. Freight rates haven't changed in a year. They're pretty much all the same, except that with the fuel fluctuation, our fuel surcharge
Right.
changes. And
Go
we
back
took,
to when you say that,
with
it's
our
spot market or contract, though. There's a
yeah,
difference.
with our biggest customer, we took we had to take a slight rate increase this year, and it's a 2-year contract, so we're good to go for a couple years on that. But they keep, what's the old saying? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. It's not going to go. And then you got people like this woman that rides with her husband and bitches all the time, wanting to regulate brokers, and we need transparency. You still got that bullshit going on. Brokers aren't going to play that game, and they're not going to win it in
And the
court.
government's not going to either because they get too much money from the big guys and
Yeah.
people, hobbyists. They're not changing
Well,
nothing.
there's a lot of reasons they're
Put it
not
on.
going to. Number one, it's anti free trade. It's anti business. This country's built on that. But these people, they want all they we're freedom fighters. Except for that, they're not freedom fighters. They want the government to step in and regulate the shit out of that. And the
Right.
reason for that now that the reason for that is because they're stupid. I mean, we've been seeing it for several. Every time
If they
freight
knew
rates,
any more, Frank, they would be business runners, but they
they
don't even
think
have a
these
business
people
plan.
actually think that because spot freight, the spot market, they actually think that because the spot market goes down, that that's the whole world. That's the business. That's, they think if the spot market goes down, they go, well, this country's going to shut down, and we're not going to have a country anymore. It's all going to shit. And now, the freight rates are gone down, and they're going to starve everybody. They come up with all this bullshit. But the thing that they don't do is what James was talking about 3 minutes ago. They don't get on the phone and go get a customer. They never do.
Right.
So
They
that's,
never do.
so great point, because I led you right into that, because I knew
You
like
didn't lead
90%.
me shit.
They
You
were
they
think
going,
think
about
that
it.
shit's gonna fall out of the sky and they're
so
gonna be able to catch it.
right. And so, you sit here and you preach about sales for almost 7 years with Frank. You teach about doing why you own a brokerage. And so we're doing it now. Like there's no more outsourcing, right, Frank? I remember the day I called you and said, I'm going to do it myself, right? I
Yeah.
got to do it. And so we sit around, all of us, and we're talking about dispatching. And everybody's asked why I hate dispatching, because I think people won't build a network and all this stuff and they on their own. And most dispatchers have a one-way opinion of selling a load, calling it good, moving on. Not all of them. Some of them are smart, but probably very small percentage, because you see it already on the boards and everywhere when you're working. You see the stupidity that's in the industry. So we were sitting around thinking, last week we're sitting here doing all this freight now, we're volleying it, and nobody knows how to get back. Nobody knows how to post a drive. James, you just started 2 weeks ago. Me and Frank have been in here doing this forever. What kind of rates are they giving? Are we seeing on the load board if we look for loads? What kind of rates?
Which
Like when you go and you look for loads, you just look for them on the search side. What kind of rates are we seeing? We were moving loads last week. Flatbeds paying $3+ a mile. The lanes on the load boards from the brokers people are talking about, Frank just talked about, were 700 and less. We were $200 and $300 over those, were we not?
the flatbed rates were like down to 250, 260 a mile.
No, they weren't. Not the ones that were calling us. Oh yeah, on the load boards.
On the load board,
Yeah,
yes.
and even
That's
less
what I'm
on
talking
the
about.
ones but the ones that were calling us when we posted with direction 30 to
Right.
60 days, what were they offering us? How much were those
You mean
rates?
what was
You got to stay with the flow here. You got to pick it up. You need more
three
coffee?
dollars a mile?
Oh, $3 to $4 a mile, right?
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then most of them that called us, 2 out of 10 didn't have volume, Frank.
I,
Now
I,
remember, they're
you know,
calling us.
everybody, these people that live on the low board live and die by it.
Yeah.
They honestly think that that's what our business is. They think that if they can get on a low board and negotiate or talk to brokers about race, that they're in the trucking business. They're
But the
not.
guys,
They're
so
not.
the, so
They're
my
just,
dilemma.
those people are I mean, they're kidding themselves, and they're not going to be around. My
Me and
friend,
Frank,
my
we were
friend
even
Paul
talking
down
about.
in Georgia's got 130 trucks, and he said these new people getting in the business. He said if they got a lot of money, they're going to be here for about a year. He said if they got a lot of money and real good credit, they can make it 2 years, and that's what's happening. These people are just burning through, every penny they get and everything they can get, and they're not doing anything to grow a company, to make it solid, to make it better. They're not doing any of those things.
So
And then,
there you
and then
go.
they have an engine go out and they're done. They're
They're done.
done. You
They're
know,
done with no diversity, no nothing. So
had a
that goes
lady
back
had
to
a
this.
lady call me last week. Had an engine go down, and she said, "What's it going to cost me to do it?" So I said, "Give me an hour or two." I put some numbers together and called her back, and I said, "Well," I gave her a number. She said, "Oh, well, there's no way we can pay that." And I said, "Okay."
So so with the brokerage, Frank, that we got going, which is we have 5 companies, right? We've formed them. I've been working them. You've told me for how many years stop doing it with others, do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Stop trading competition. So we're in this dispatching and we're bringing on carriers. We have like 15 coming. Even me and Frank Jr. sat around and going, these guys need to do it themselves, but they're just leaving the money on the table. We've talked about it, but it's a lot of work.
If I was running a dispatch company, which I won't, I'm not interested in it. But if I was running a I'd charge like 35-40%. But and here's why.
Why?
Why? Here's why.
Yeah.
Here's why. If I can take you, if you're stupid enough to live on the load boards, and that's what you're doing, and you think you're in business, if I can take you from $1.50 to $3 a mile, why shouldn't I take 30-40% of that? And what difference does it make? You still got a huge raise anyway. You're making a hell of a lot more money than you ever
That's,
did.
but that's the way we look at it. If me, James, and Steven and William go sit
Yep.
in this room, right?
Bill claims.
And number one, we take your business. And number two, we draw a spider web around it. And we build all these lanes to start getting you volume, local, and dedicated. And we raise your rate. And then we teach you how to add on owner operators. And we use your company to go feed our customers and get more. You weren't doing it in the first place. You
Didn't
should
know
pay.
how.
You should pay for it.
Most of these people, there's a guy here in town. I live in a little tiny town just right outside Nashville. There's a guy here in town that his mother had a restaurant, killer restaurant. She is packed every day at lunch. She's just packed. So he went out and started his own restaurant. He borrowed 20 grand from his mother, 20 grand. And he started a pizza restaurant. He's got 5 of them now. And you try, I mean, if you call at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening any day and order a pizza, you're gonna have to wait because he's jammed. He's jammed. And pizza is very, very profitable. That's why I say a lot of times, a lot of these boneheads in the trucking business now should have just opened a pizza joint. It's more profitable, it's easier, you know.
So listen to this. One of the first things we're doing at our dispatching and our brokerage is looking for volume freight instead of one and done. We preach it all the time, right?
Yeah,
Customers with volume all year long. It's not always the best. It's not the cheapest, but it's right there in the middle, and there's a lot of it. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
they need trucks. So we look at all these hot shots, and one of the guys that works with us, Justin, that's on here all the time with us, we're looking at, we got this gig, and it's all over the United States. It's containers, right? The empty containers.
Yeah.
So all a guy has to do is invest with a 20 and a 40-foot hydraulic lift tilt trailer. And we need 5 right now, Frank. This is guaranteed work at 375 to 425 a mile, plus fuel, direct to a customer all year. We need Chicago, Minnesota. All they do is work Monday through Friday from depots, delivering containers and dropping them at yards all the time, everywhere. And they just hired like 80 salespeople, and they plan on going for 600 to 1,000 plus containers. I bet you, Frank, there's guys out here that spend more than $20,000 on their hotshot trailers, and they're running around and not even dedicated or niche, where they just go 300-mile radius or less, as many as they can do in a day, out and back, delivering those things. And they're freight chasing, not sleeping at night, all over the place. Why not work a product like that?
I mean, you preaching to the choir when you're asking me. They just don't want to do it. They either don't want to do it, or they don't know how to do it, or what they do is they find out real soon after they try to get into this business. They find out that there's a lot of work involved,
Right.
and they're not going to do the work. I keep using this one lady as an example. Frank invited her to our office. He said, "Why don't you just come here and sit here for a day or two and see what we do?" So she lasted an hour, 1 hour. She got up, went around the office, hugged everybody. She said, there's no way I can do this. I ain't doing this.
So my whole point to get on today was to discuss the companies and what we're doing for people every day before I get all backed up. So how's it going, Justin? Glad to see everyone. Hi, Frank. People these days don't want to work for the money. They
No,
don't. That's why
no.
you have all the
They
people.
want to check, but they don't want to do the work.
That's why you have people suddenly living under overpasses and freaking in tents on cities and shitting in streets. I mean, what the?
Blaming and all these people in our business blaming somebody else. It's always somebody else's fault. Yeah, these brokers are trying to put me out of business. Brokers been trying to put you out of business for 40 years, bitch. Where you been? They
So
are in the business for the same reason you are, to make
yeah,
money. And if
of
they
course.
figure out a way to make more money, they don't care about you.
No, no one does. Your neighbor don't. The people in town don't. No one does.
My
When the
neighbor
power
learned
went
an
out,
important lesson yesterday. I had Winston X out for his afternoon walking around, and we have a pretty big neighborhood, and it's a nice neighborhood, and you have to have your dog on a leash here. Well, this guy didn't. This guy didn't, and I could see it coming from a mile away. As soon as he saw Winston saw he comes rushing up to Winston. So Winston, I don't know, he extracted probably, I don't know, half a pound of hair off that son of a bitch before he let him go. And the guy freaked out. He's freaking out. He's freaking out. He goes, and when his dog started running towards Winston, he's yelling. This guy's yelling at me. Don't worry. He's nice. He's a nice guy. And I go, he ain't. You better grab your dog. You're fixing to get all fucked up. And I have Winston on a 6-foot leash now. I mean, you know,
but don't you think that's the
Winston
problem?
grabbed
Is
that son of a bitch and flipped him around a couple times, removed a little bit of fur from him. The guy's freaking out. His wife is screaming and yelling. And they go, your dog attacked our dog. And I said, my dog's on a leash, bitch. He can't go but 6 feet. Yours is not. I said, good luck with that shit. These people think that they can walk around with their head in the fucking clouds, walk around and shit will just fall. Because for a couple years, and you know it and I know it, we lived through it. For
I
a
was
couple
going to turn
years
your
on the
story that way
stock
too.
market, all you had to do was turn it on and hit the button, and somebody give you $3 or $4 a mile. That's over.
And
That's
they're not.
over.
And those people that were out there, like
Yeah.
letting you pet the dog, and all that
Yeah.
stuff, they're not your friends. They were
No,
just holding the leash tight for a minute to take your money, and now they're going to let the dog rip your fucking head off
I
because
get it
they
all the time when I'm walking him around in the neighborhood. You know, there's a park right down the street. Uh, Triplet. Dang, figure Frank would be fishing somewhere drunk off his ass. Wonder if he ever got them shirts and has for 6 different companies. You would think he would at least be like once. I'm going fishing the 17th. We're leaving.
I think you've got to have
Okay.
everybody but me, haven't you?
Oh yeah, look behind me. Yeah, I get hats all the time. People send me all kind of weird
Yeah,
shit.
James and Justin are still waiting for their hats too.
Yeah, I get shirts, hats. I get jackets from people send me. If you look back here over my corner, over my shoulder, back there, I get jackets. I hang them right there. But there's some of the hats I get. I just pile them up.
I
People
think
send me stuff.
it was punning. We haven't did that joke in a long time. All right, so move on to dispatching. We're brought it back. We're helping carriers. We're taking them on. We're lining them up every
You ain't
day.
charging enough. You ain't charging. You should be getting like 40-50% of the
I did
revenue.
raise my fee
All of it.
because I did raise my fee up because I'm
Yeah.
not doing it like I used to because
Nah.
there's no way I'm going to teach the competition build trucking guys. But see, the difference now is when you have the brokerage, now you're providing the freight, and then we have the compliance, the safety, and the onboarding, the monitoring, the drug testing. You know what I mean? Now
Yeah. You're doing everything but driving the truck.
we're working on that. Yep,
Yeah.
we're
I
working on it.
want if I'm doing that for you, if I'm doing everything for you, I'm your partner. I want 50%.
So it
Yeah.
seems like that
And
though.
if you don't like that, if you don't like that deal, if that deal doesn't seem like a good deal to you, call somebody else. Go ahead. Call Shaggy. Call Shaggy. Call James and tell him.
Give
Yeah,
him the headache.
I talked to Frank. He's an arrogant son of a bitch. He wanted 30%. 30% of what? You're making $1.50. 30% of what?
Yeah, why did you call
You're
me?
running your truck
Don't
up
call
up
those
and down
other
the
guys.
road for $1.50, and you're not charging any fuel surcharge because you're afraid to. Because you'll get on there and you'll go, yeah, well, brokers I work for, they're just not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. they give you one flat rate. That's called fucking you. Yeah, that's what there's a term for that. It's called fucking your brains out, and you sit there and let them do it
Yeah.
because
Bend
they say
over,
something to
spread
you
the
like,
cheeks. You're not going anywhere next. I can't do
yeah.
it. Well, stop looking at the day and tomorrow. Build some fucking
My
lanes.
favorite one is, listen, I gotta go, man. We move these loads for this much all day, every day. So if you don't want it, I gotta go. Yeah,
Hold on,
that's my
Frank.
favorite.
My phone's
That's
ringing. Hold on,
that's
Frank.
all. That's all I got in
Frank,
it.
I got more calls coming into the hot lane.
Yeah, my phone's ringing off the hook, dude. You want this thing or not?
Yeah. Shit, I
Listen,
can't
yeah,
keep
I offered you $300. We were moving this for $250 a week ago. I mean, do you want it or not? And these people sit there and they go, "Well, I called that guy
Wow.
and he only offered me $300." What did you do? You just sit there and took it, didn't you? And you solve all this. You know, all when I see all these people crying about brokers on social media, I've got the same response I've had for 10 years. I go, well, you don't like brokers, don't use them.
The
Don't.
worst part is it's like 15 dispatchers that are calling you acting like brokers and they don't even, they're like, hold on, I gotta go check. There's a guy there. You can hear it in the voice. Oh, another one. Over and over and over and over.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, we don't get that because our phones all ring at the same place, but Ricky does. Ricky gets those calls. I don't know, 3, 4, 5 times a day. He's got them now that just want to send him a load. Hey, I see you got trucks here. Let me just send you this load over there. And they're not brokers and
They're
they're not shippers.
dispatchers.
They're a dispatch
Yeah.
service. Yeah.
Yeah,
If I
they're on
caught a
their own point
dispatch
in their
service doing
emails.
that, just so anybody listening, if you happen to be a dispatch service and you're using that tactic, I will gleefully, cheerfully, I'll be chuckling away. I'll be when I call the DOT on your ass.
But the problem is these guys got 17 people in the office and it
Yeah,
works.
I don't care. I'll
I
call the DOT.
know. It's the craziest thing. How do you take something like that? But that's why this new partner that called me the other day, I was like, he offered me money. I was like, what do you want leads on? And he says anybody that works with a factory company that doesn't understand aging, that has delinquent credit, like people that haven't paid and they're with a factory company or double brokers and these things, because like Baxter Bailey, right? But Baxter Bailey don't like being referrals. And this guy called me up. He's like, shit, the first client I gave him had 8 of them with produce brokers. I'm like, how much are you paying me for this shit? Because I get pies that don't do their job right. They don't credit check. They chase the almighty low with fucking brokers all the time. And you go, this one guy's like, well, we'll just go do what Frank said. We'll sue the customers. We'll sue them. We'll take their fucking property and everything for you. We just take 30% of the top. And I'm like, then how much do fuck, I'll lie. I'm going to make millions just off that shit because we're lazy. We want it now. We don't want to do the process. We have somebody else running our company that doesn't know what to do, and they allow you allow them to put you in these mistakes. Just saying. Goes back to
Well,
dispatching.
you got people out there that are stupid, and then you got people that are tough and stupid. That will defend their shit.
Oh yeah, the guy called me like the other day. We're like, yeah, we're paying $375 to $425 a mile for containers out of Miami, New York, Chicago, Minnesota, Norfolk, and I think there's one other place, but we're gonna have terminals all over the place. The guy says, "Well, like a year ago in Savannah, I'm doing it, Frank. I was making $7 a mile. What are you making it now?"
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there was like containers stacked up and we were behind. Now there's more trucks than freight. Were you making it now? Oh, that was when you had 20 trucks you were running. What are you running now? 3. Oh,
Yeah.
that's the shit. You're like, okay. And then when you try to discuss stuff with him, he's still stupid.
Yeah. You got to be tough if you're going to be stupid. I mean, if you're just going to get out there and do stupid shit, one thing after another, you
You
got to
don't
be
know what to
you got to
say.
be pretty tough to do
Like
that,
if a guy, like whenever my buddy that lives down there by you called me and told me he just switched to that one company to hauls Boeing airplane motors and stuff with a curtain sight on a step deck. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And when a guy tells me he's making $20,000 in 3 loads doing that kind of shit for space and all that, now I'm not arguing with that guy because I know he is. But a guy that's going to argue with me and tell me how great he is, but he's not doing it now because of something he started 2 years ago, get the fuck out of here.
You got to be tough if you're going to be stupid.
That is true.
I don't know. Yeah, and then the flip side of it is, because I don't want to come on here and just say everybody's stupid, because they're not. The flip side of it is there are people getting into this business that are making it, and they're
Oh,
doing
ton.
well. They're
All
doing
day
well.
long you have,
They
but they're
come
not,
in,
they're not
they
afraid.
come in, they put a plan together. They execute their plan. They
They're
get up
going to
every morning.
Menards, they're hauling for Tyson's, they're
Yeah,
hauling for volume.
they
They're
come in
getting
every
up.
morning. They get up every morning, wash their face, drink a cup of coffee, sit down, and they go to work, and they're doing good. They are doing good.
These
And
guys
I
have
could
never.
that's why when we get on here and do these shows, that's why I'm so happy. It makes me very happy to shame these other assholes that just don't get it, just won't get it. There's this one woman I've been talking about. She hates me. She's got me banned from all these groups and stuff. And I don't give a shit. I don't. If it's a fishing group and she gets me banned, I will go to her house. But anyway, she gets me banned from all these stupid trucking groups. And without fail, her answer to everything is, yeah, we need to limit these brokers to 5%. So let me get this right. I'm a broker and I have trucks. I do both. I'm a broker. So for 5%, number one, you want me to go out and get a customer. Something you can't do because you're too stupid. Okay. And they all the excuses in the world. Truck, these customers aren't going to talk to me. I've only got one truck. Tell Deb Dingo that she's got 3. She's got one truck. Just
I
tell her.
just know it. Hey, James, when we talk to customers, what are they saying to you when you talk to them?
What do they want?
When we call these customers? You're the new guy. Tell Frank what the customers are telling us most of the time when we call them, especially the medium to small ones. What do they want? Do they want brokers or trucking companies? James, stay with us here. Let me spell it out. When you're calling customers, James, what is the response when you get them on the phone? Are they wanting more brokers or are they wanting carriers? And do they really care what not?
Carriers
Okay, go back to
That's
Frank.
the first. That's the
or
first
none.
question. That's the first.
And Frank, he just started selling 2 weeks ago. He's
Yeah.
never done this kind of sales.
That's the
All
first
he's doing is
question.
calling.
I was trying to
Every
understand
customer in the
your
world.
question.
I got it.
Every
That's
customer
why
in
I
the
slowed
world.
down.
Their very first question is. Are you asset based or are you just a broker? That's their first
There, yeah,
question.
yeah,
That's what they want to know. That's what they want to know. But
yeah.
but but all these people, get out there, get in. They don't, so they want to blame everybody else. But as a broker, you want me to go out and get a customer, which I know how to do, and Shaggy knows how to do. James knows how to do. You want me to go get a customer, cultivate them, do all the rates, put in all the time,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, work on building a relation. You want me to do that first of all. Then when the customer sends me loads, you want me to book a load for you, schedule it. You want me to schedule the pickup for you. You want me to schedule the delivery. I mean, an idiot can haul freight for us because we do everything. We do it all. We schedule the
Oh,
pickup.
hey, don't worry. I want you to get me back too.
Yeah. And so you want me to do that for you. You want me to get a customer. That's the big one. Then you want me to schedule your freight for you and dispatch your freight for you and talk to your driver and baby that dumb motherfucker through the whole process the whole time, until the load gets delivered. And then after that, you want me to pay you right now. You want to get paid right now because
And
your ass is broke. So you want me to cough up the money, and I don't factor freight, guys. I
yeah,
don't,
so now
never
you
have,
got to
never
float
will.
it for 30 to 60 days.
You want me to float my money because you want to get paid right now.
Yeah,
And
because
for
I'm cheap
that,
and I'm always
and
right.
pay you, and then wait 30, 45, sometimes 60 days for my money. And for that, you want me to make 5%? Here's
Oh,
here's here's what
oh,
I
wait,
got
wait,
for
wait, we didn't
you.
finish it. No, there's more. And then risk your piece of shit truck breaking down, claims running over in an accident
Yeah,
that you can even hold it more while you're going to get your rental truck and you're going to go keep it making money and we're not.
yeah. I mean, but they want me to do that for 5%. That's what this woman actually thinks. And I mean, she's not the only one. A lot of these people do. Yeah, all these brokers got is a telephone and a computer. That's all they got. Oh, you stupid asshole. No, it's not.
It's no
And if you
different than
want
all
to
these
be a
carriers
broker,
jumping in
if
and
you
having
want to be a
10%
broker,
charge.
none of this shit, all that stuff I just described to you, getting a customer, booking the loads, finding a truck, dispatching it on the truck, baby in that truck, we call it tracking, baby in that truck all the way through the load. Then you got to pay them right now. Then you got to do your billing and wait 30 to 45 days till your money comes in. And if the shipper contests anything or has a problem, guess who gets a short paid bill? I do. I
Not
do. And you've already got your money. So you don't care, right? You don't care. And you want to do all that. Then you want to get on social media and go, yeah, he's broken and killing me. Fuck you, dead. You were dead before you got into business because you're too stupid to be in it.
That's the other part too. It's the same way with trucking companies. The first thing you do is you open a trucking company, and then you're like, well, I need to do something with it. And then you bring on a bunch of the same fucking minded people because you don't have no plan, and you charge them 10% with a factoring company. 2 to 3% goes right off the top. Now you're left with 7, and then you got to do compliance and safety out of that 7 and pay people. I mean,
Well, all I can tell you is you made,
authority.
and admirably so. You built a business over a period of years, and I watched you do it. I was there the whole time. You built a business where you were teaching people how to do these things. And I'm going to tell you, we're friends. We've been friends for a long time, but you will never see me get on the internet and you know talk about anybody else's consulting business, because most of them, 99% of them, are bullshit. Yours are not. You did the research, you did the work, you did actual time, you put actual time, and you would go in there and make it better every week. You didn't just say, okay, here's a product, I'm going to sell it now. You kept on making the product better and better and better.
Added to it. It was so
You
big
kept,
when we were
you
done.
kept
It was
doing it.
six
Yeah.
hours a night.
You started out with a 2 hour thing that turned into a 4 or 5 hour thing, and you call me up and go, man, I'm so tired. And I say, Shaggy, you can't do this. You got to
And
teach
I didn't charge
basic,
for it.
basic, intermediate, and advanced. You got to break this down into 3 categories, because you can't sit there, all day, every day, all night, every night, teaching the whole business to somebody that calls up. And it's not your job to do that. It's not your responsibility. It's their
And
job to find out, not yours.
And when you paint that whole picture and you show these paychecks, you show what you could do if you get there and all that stuff, the only thing they see is the money and they forget about the work. It's the work that you have to do day in and day out and everything. And when that happens, 50% of the people we were teaching, Frank, just said,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I have to be available. I have to do this. I actually have to do that.
Yeah, and I see these people in your webinars. They get on there, and after a night or two, they turn off their microphone and their camera. And if you said something about it, say, "Hey, I'm sitting here teaching you guys this stuff," and you've turned off your microphone and your camera, and their response would always be, "Well, I paid my money. It's my business." That which takes me back to, you got to be tough if you're going to be stupid. You got to be willing to back it up. You got to be willing to fight for it. If you're going to be stupid, if you're going to be that ignorant about this business, you got to be tough. You got
I
to
like
back it up.
I like the way usually when that guy's tough and stupid, it's like, I mean, used to I'd argue with those guys. Now I just go, okay, whatever.
This business is
Excuse
this
me.
business is not easy. And I will say this. I will say this. I've been doing it a real long time. This business is not easy, but it's very profitable. It's very stable, and to me, it's a lot of fun. I like my customers. I like my drivers. I like all those people. I like to go to the shop, hang out at Ricky's, and work on trucks and do. I like it. I do. I do. I like it. And I'm going to keep on liking it. And most of the people that I hang around with all day, every day, they're not being tough, stupid. They're working. They're busy working, and we speak the language. We talk the talk. We walk the walk. These guys, and you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about, Joe Denny, Sparky Anderson, guys
Sure.
like that have been doing it for 35, 40 years. If you call Sparky Anderson,
How long?
and start up some of this stupid bullshit with him, Sparky will come to your house and he's large. You don't want that. You don't want Sparky mad at you.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
these guys
Well,
aren't
come
telling
see
their,
me.
but these guys aren't out there telling their secrets, putting it all over
no,
Facebook and all that stuff either. So you're talking about two different breeds of people because
completely different.
probably going to pass the guy
Yeah,
up. They might stop at help with good old boy, but probably not. They're probably going to go keep on going, call that guy an idiot, and roll.
I know him personally, so
I do too.
Yeah, it's on my page too.
Well, he comes to my shop and we
Oh yeah,
talk. We talk once or
but they
twice a
don't.
week.
But they've been around forever. Those are the
yeah.
guys that are retired, and new age is placing them. And the new age has to figure out it hasn't changed that much.
Semi-retired.
Joe Denny's not retired. He's been doing it 50 years.
Yeah, Joe Denny, but he's just out there flying around in that big fat truck, doing videos, showing stuff, freaking having a blast. The
But
difference between
if you
those
want to
guys,
know, and
yeah,
I'm not gonna get into a big thing, but if you want to know what Joe Denny's doing, turn on in the morning and see where he is. Okay, he'll
I
pop
see
out,
where he is every morning.
and then the next morning turn it on and see where he
I,
is
I
that
just
day.
make a phone call.
Yeah,
He is running. He's like 1 minute he's in Washington. I think the next morning he's in New York. And how the
yeah,
fuck did he get there? I don't know, but he's there.
yeah.
Him, him,
He
him, him and the old dog, they stop and see me when they come through Florida.
yeah, yeah.
I like Joe. There's not many left like Joe.
Joe, I like to meet Joe down at Uncle Pete's for breakfast when he comes in.
Yeah, just get on the back 40. You'll
Yeah,
catch him.
yeah. But we talk about this, talk about that, and then, but those are the guys that are out there doing business. They're doing business. They're in this business. You know, these people that start up now and want to get out there. That's what I think. That's indicative of the whole society. No, not just the trucking business. Is that people get into things and they think everybody's going to hand you shit, and then when they don't, you know, you get mad. You think everybody owes you something. This woman that rides around with her husband and bitches all the time, she thinks the government's supposed to force me to work for her. I got news for you, dumbass. You know, dumbass. I wouldn't load you now if somebody put a gun to my head. I wouldn't give you a load of my freight forever because I see your junky ass old truck you're running. I don't want my shit on your truck. But you want your $4 a mile and you want me to do it for 5%. Kiss my 5% ass. How's that?
Well, we're losing
We'll give
people.
it to him for a
So,
buck and a half.
so it never fails. I actually got on the show today to actually go through our products and topics. And we always veer off into stories and people and all that other stuff, which is cool. We're 58 minutes. People are dropping down. It is early.
Well,
Hey,
tomorrow's a big holiday. Tomorrow's Independence Day, and I wanted to say Happy Independence Day. I wasn't going to do a show tomorrow night, but I think I will. Yeah, maybe a short one or something on my page. But I just want to say Happy Independence Day to everybody. Happy 4th of July. If you're out there trucking, if you're out there working this weekend, be careful. People are
Right.
drunk, and there's a lot of them out there. I don't worry about my friends too much, but I worry about the people around them. So,
it's
yeah.
not even that for me. It's like me. I can wonder how many people are stuck because they chase freight and they're going to be stuck until Wednesday. I
I
can't
don't
wait.
care about those people. I don't care about them. You know,
It's a given.
when they put their stupid shit on Facebook, I just smile. I don't care about those people.
See,
They don't want you to help them. They want to blame everybody. You know,
and it's such a sad thing because there's so much help.
yeah. But if you're out there, if you're out there working, please be careful. You know, be patient. Watch out for these people. Most of them are drunk. If you're getting on an airplane, good luck with that shit. I think they had something like
Warren,
3,000 cancellations
I think
yesterday.
Warren's in the hospital going into surgery. Warren Biggs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right there. Well, prayers for Warren. Hope he
Press
makes.
forward.
Yep. Yep.
Guys, we're all in this thing together, and we're here to help you guys as much as we can, as much as we will let us, we will. And Shaggy's businesses that he opened, I mean, good for him. He was teaching everybody else how to do it. You know, why
We
not?
talked about it night after
Yeah,
night, didn't I? Before I did it, I'm
every night,
like, dude,
and every night, and good for him.
Pretty much giving it away.
He's doing dispatching, he's doing brokerage, he's doing compliance. You know, he's got this shit going on. He can help you get set up. And here's the key. Here's the catch. Here's the catch. if you will listen to him and do the work. Then he can help you get in business if that's what you want to do. Otherwise, open up a pizza joint. Everybody loves pizza.
See, did you here's always a great comment right off the bat. The government. Fuck the government.
When the government tell them that?
So if you make $4.25 a mile hauling containers, that means you're making a quarter of a mile. Where the hell's that come from?
I don't know what that is.
If it takes $2 a mile to run your business, how does it
I
take
want to know
$2 a mile?
where's the government say that?
Yeah, so if you make $4.25 a mile, you're making a quarter of a mile.
I want to know where he's getting his
I don't know.
intel here
I
because
don't know. How does $4.25 a mile turn
Well,
into
why, guy? I don't know you. I
25?
don't know who you are. I will about your comment. I will just say this about that. If you're running for 4.25 miles and you're only making a quarter, you're already in deep shit. Deep shit.
Hold on, let me see.
amen to that one.
Let me see. Hold on. Let's look real quick. So I burned 2,000 in fuel, right? Let's add it up because I'm dumb. I didn't graduate fifth grade. I'm in Truckee like the rest of the fucking retards. Or sorry, other people. So 2,000 in fuel. I'm gonna say we're all new, right? The 18 to 20,000 a year in insurance. So I'm gonna do 400 a week in insurance because we're all jumping in like Billy Big Riggers, right? So now we're at 2,400, right, Frank? That's
I'm not adding with you, but go ahead.
so I got 2,000 for fuel, 400 for insurance a week, right?
Yeah.
So then we got a truck payment. So let's go with the normal people and say their truck payment is $1,500 to $2,000 a month, right? So we'll do 500 plus 500. So that's 2,900. So then we got a trailer payment. What would you say a trailer payment is still a month right now? 8 to 12
Yeah.
on a
Say
flatbed
1,000.
1,000. So we'll do 250 a week for the trailer. That's 3,150. Now here's where it's hard, Frank. I'm going to put $1,000 a week for fixed cost and escrow. That's almost 50,000 a year. That has nothing to do with my paycheck. So I'm going to add 1,000 to my fixed cost. So that's 41, right? So then I'm going to pay myself 2,500 a week. That has nothing to do with those other bills, right? That's 120,000 a year, 50 weeks, right? 2,500, 100. You guys do math, 120,000 a year, I mean? Okay. So I'm going to pay myself 2,500. Then I'm going to take 6,600 times the 3% factoring because we should always, when you're in business, Frank always says, if there's fees involved, how much do you want to make after the fees? Because somebody else should pay those, right? It shouldn't be in your thing. So
Yeah.
that's $180 right there. So that's plus 180. So that's $6,800 minimum just for that, right? So if I divide that by 3,000 miles, which is 500 miles a day, that's 227 a mile to profit at. Everything else goes to my business, right? Extra.
Well, it either goes to your business or to buy your wife a new Denali or whatever.
Yeah, but nobody said okay, so even if I'm running locally, right, and my containers are paying with the fuel surcharges paying 460 a mile, my cost is 230 a mile. I'm still running empty and loaded at my cost. If your cost is higher, raise the rate on all miles. I never said it was one way round trip or anything, just so you know. I'm just telling you it's on there. So if a guy can go and run and keep his fuel down at his expenses and still make a solid living consistently, then there's a difference whether you're a one truck guy doing it and if you break down you have no diversity or if you're building we're getting into running a business again, right?
Yeah. You see, to the guy's comment, I don't know where that was going. I don't.
I don't either.
I'm not
I was
sure
like,
where he
are
was
we going?
going with that.
I don't
But
know.
if you're insinuating that it's 4.25 a mile and a broker should provide you with that, good luck. Good luck to you.
So like the
Tell you
containers
what. Tell you what.
yeah.
Here's something for you. Tell you what. If you people that think brokers should provide you with all this shit that I just listed a minute ago, go do it yourself. You know, that's
The
why
funny part
my
about that
answer
is,
when I see these boneheads on social media, those brokers fuck me. My answer's been the same for 10 years. Don't like brokers? Don't use them.
it's funny too, because if we took 1,000 hot shots right now and said how many people run where they live within a 300-mile radius, go home on weekends and during the week and pull containers and do $5,000 to $7,000, $8,000 a week on 3,000 miles.
I don't know. I don't get the whole hot shot thing. You and I've had this conversation. Whoop, somebody's.
Damn it. Shut up. Amber alert.
I don't get the whole hot shot thing. I'm not sure somebody
Did
would
you?
want to go
Are
into
they
business
looking for
and
you
then
for getting out of
limit
your?
themselves to 20% or 15% of the market. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that.
That's why you got to find a niche, and when you find a niche with volume, why wouldn't you go after it?
Yeah, I don't. And then
So again,
you got
right.
to be
Yeah,
about
yeah.
half a damn dwarf to sleep in the back seat of a pickup truck. I mean,
So
damn,
for the guy that's commenting again,
yeah,
whether it's round trip or one way, right?
yeah, and I ain't.
If you're sitting and you're not moving freight because you have a hot shot, or you're doing containers in these ports, every day guys are already running one way or vice versa, and they're not making money. So if you're not making money and you can go build a product to hit your consistent empty loaded at 230, 240, 250 round trip, it doesn't matter. It's about the overall average instead of one and done. It's about doing it for 50 weeks, doing it in volume, and then adding owner operators to diversify. I know it's like talking to. It's like I just don't understand. It's like this is the problem. It's like we're not talking about a one guy. These guys are adding trucks to this project we're doing. Like one guy's, they're going out buying 4 or 5 trailers to do it. And Frank, what's crazy is they'll move to a new location when one slows down because they're all over the place with these containers, and they'll just rent a car or whatever on the weekend and go home and leave their setup. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And stay there like 2 months. It's the craziest stuff. Just because the work is there every day.
dudes. Happy 4th of July. I gotta go. I got an auction starting in 10 minutes, and
Don't lose your voice.
no, no, no. I'm gonna buy some cars. I'm gonna
Oh,
yeah. I
Is
need
it
to buy.
online or in person?
Huh? It's online.
Oh, right on. The easy days. You don't even have to go nowhere, get coffee, eat breakfast before you go in.
Yeah, it's easy. We went down there Friday. Me and Frank 3 went down there Friday, walk around, look at the cars. God, damn, it was so hot. Shit.
If he was listening to it, it was plus fuel surcharge on top of that. It's
Yeah.
not, I mean,
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
James.
But anyways, hey,
Yeah,
thanks, Frank,
hey,
for coming by. See you tomorrow.
hey, you
We'll
guys
talk in the morning.
have a nice week.
you
Everybody
too,
have a
Frank.
great 4th of July. Please, 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 please be careful. If you're out there on the water, I'm not going to be on the water till the 18th, but if you're out there on the water, keep your eye open for drunk fishermen and fast boats. Just saying. See you guys.
Oh, oh, Frank G, always a good time.
I know. It's the funny part, funny part is about it is we were planning that, it's always, I'm going to leave him off tomorrow because he always gets me thinking about what all these other people are doing. And I'm not worried. And sometimes we got to stop getting distracted about what these other people are doing that already found their niche. And remember that we're still catering to the people that haven't found their niche, that haven't found their lane. They are having trouble with dispatching. They're not building a network where they run like when we bring on a guy from Maryland, we pick 4 cities in at Spiro and then search back to those cities, major cities, and start building lanes. They're not looking for volume. We run. We worry about just ourselves. We don't add on trucks and owner operators. We don't build a product. We're so caught up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't do compliance. We're not doing safety. So that's why we built these companies. We have the compliance, the safety, the drug testing, after the consortium, and then we have the brokerage with the freight. We have the dispatching, and then we have the consulting where they can come right here to this office right here, or they can do virtually, and we can use our companies and work with them one on one as we're growing them. Right?
Yep.
a matter of fact, I have a meeting today with a guy that wants to get us to build his trucking company for him as a partner. Those guys are coming in all day long. And when you have all these pieces in place and you're actually doing it, it makes it easier for a person that wants to invest that all they want to do is pour on the trucks. You know what I mean?
Right.
The hardest part is having a team. Are you part of a team? Do you have a team? Are the companies that you're working with that you use all your products with now, insurance, equipment, compliance, dispatching, brokerage, and all that stuff, are they really working for you or themselves? See, that's the difference is we're going to work for all our clients because they make us money.
Exactly.
Isn't that what we're doing every day? So we got meetings at 10 and I'm already 8 calls behind because I had to silent my phone. So we got to go to work and we'll see everybody tomorrow for coffee with Shaggy.
But you have a good day. Happy 4th.
Warren, prayers for a successful surgery, Warren. And everybody out there, prayers for all you guys that you make it through these hard times, that you see the light. And always be proactive. Have faith in your plan. If you don't have a plan, call us to get one. And if you need help with compliance, dispatching, you need freight to pull, consulting. We're doing consulting in person at my office and virtually online. Give us a call. Oh, yeah. And then next week, I'll be in Cincinnati one day next week. We're doing compliance and safety with a couple of our clients. I'm going to be seeing Princeton and I'm going to be seeing Onstadt. You'd stop. I can't remember. He's got 10 trucks. And then I'll be looking. So one day next week, I'll be in the Cincinnati area. I look forward to seeing you guys. I'm bringing the Scooby car down and we'll be there for a day doing compliance and safety. I look forward to seeing you guys soon and giving you more updates on what we got going. What do you got, James?
Nothing. I'm good.
So,
Happy 4th. Everybody be safe.
how many trucks do we need for dispatching? We got 15, right?
Yep.
So we need more coming in for our freight.
Yeah.
So if they need help, they can just call us, right? Hot
Power,
shots, flatbeds, dry vans.
power only.
And we're not going to blow them out of the park with $10,000 to $11,000 a week. We're going to keep them steady at that 65 to 8, right?
Exactly.
True numbers.
True numbers, not fake.
Yeah. Well, we know most of these guys are 230 to 280. And if they got company drivers, they're still higher. It's about building product, having a paycheck, going home on weekends. We really don't want guys that want to freight chase all over the place.
Unless you want $1.50 a mile.
Yeah, I don't want freight chasers. You guys want freight chasers? There's a whole bunch of people that will call you every 15 minutes. Go with one of those guys.
Yeah. Call me.
So, all right. Later, guys. Nice to meet you, Willard. And White Guy.